Now, this guy, Jay Shetty's podcast, and he asked her something about her greatest fear as of late. And here's what she said.
This current climate for me, it's, what's happening to immigrants. So it's not the fear for myself anymore. I drive around in a 4-car motorcade with a police escort. I'm Michelle Obama.
There's so much in there, Tucker. I'll let you take a swing at it first.
I mean, my first response is it feels so antique. It feels so 2017. It's like literally nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. All of those talking points, people of color under attack. No, they're not.
Did you see the video of Biden at the debate in 2007 announcing that Barack Obama had an AIDS test?
I know Barack got tested for AIDS.
Oh, it's the funniest video ever. Biden said, well, I think, AIDS is a real problem in the African-American community.
And the community's engaged in denial.
And I think we should all get AIDS tests. I mean, Barack Obama had an AIDS test.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS.
There's a cutaway of Obama being like, I hate you.
It's an important thing.
Then Biden's like, which is totally good. And I think he's negative, but I mean, all men should get an AIDS.
There's no shame in being tested for AIDS.
Obama is so mad.
When the image gets too shiny, someone's got to bring the grit. And Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson didn't come to play, they came swinging. Michelle Obama's polished persona, marketed like spiritual luxury in a branded box, just ran into a chainsaw of sarcasm and stone-cold reality. No sugar, no spin, just two media snipers slicing through the polish and pretense. If you thought that crown was permanent, brace yourself. Because this roast doesn't sizzle, it scorches everything.
She says the bars are just different for people in life. Right. The bar was very different for your husband. Very different. And I'm sure he got into Harvard just based purely on his intellect, right? And Harvard Law School. And he was ushered into the presidency with about 2 minutes of public service behind him.
Michelle Obama is now supporting sugar water, literally. She is now promoting sugar water for kids.
Because it's a better than soda option.
It's still high in sugar.
Why is she doing that?
Because she wants to make money.
So she's like a flack for some sugar company.
Oh, no. She partnered with a private equity company that specializes in junk food influencer partnerships.
Actually?
Oh, yeah. They're a private equity company that works on the Rocks energy drink and that specializes in partnerships where high-level influencers partner to promote junk food. And she is the chief spokesperson and co-founder of Plezzy, which is a sugar water.
Michelle Obama entered American politics like she was headlining a TED Talk, and assumed applause was mandatory because she spoke clearly. The media acted like she floated down from the clouds with a kale smoothie and a Harvard handshake. But when Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson said enough, they didn't show up with compliments, they brought verbal wrecking balls. That glossy PR fairy tale smashed like expired tofu in Whole Foods.
Michelle Obama's still at it. And in this particular soundbite, she's got thoughts on relationships. Listen here.
Relationships are long, and there are also ebbs and flows, right? So I think sometimes people who date don't realize that, in long-term relationships, you're gonna have deep dips, and you're gonna have
a bad year.
You're gonna have a bad. I tell people, and folks think that this is harsh. It's like you're gonna have a bad decade.
Megyn Kelly didn't blink while pointing out the hypocrisy of a woman preaching sacrifice. From a luxury resort, like sacrifice includes champagne and cucumber eye masks. This is the same person who scolded America on eating clean from the garden of a mansion paid by taxpayers, while her own plates probably came with a gold garnish. Because nothing says health crusader like hopping on a private jet to shame you for a large fries.
You counted her husband's riches. They're definitely billionaires by now. The house in Martha's Vineyard, which is, I think, $20 million out on the yachts of David. What happened to me? Why doesn't anyone think about what happened to me during my... I'm enraged. I'm almost speechless at how ridiculously out of touch this person is, Glenn.
And then there's Tucker, who nearly cracked a rib at the idea that Michelle Obama was ever relatable. Relatable to whom? Certainly not the average person who can't afford hand-poured candles and mood-curated curtain sets. This is the same woman who told people to dream big as long as those dreams came with Netflix contracts, million-dollar book deals, and penthouse-level privilege masked as humility from 10 floors above reality.
Obama goes to Princeton for free and has been in the ruling class her whole life, and she's still lecturing you about how she's a victim of racism. Hillary Clinton, exact same thing. Goes to Wellesley, spends her entire life in the ruling class, and she's still whining about how she's discriminated against. Why are they doing that?
You ever see pictures of Jimmy Carter's house and Obama's house? We would allow people who call themselves public servants to get to live in this insane mansion off what?
In a white neighborhood. neighborhood. You should be
right.
required to live in
Well-
the hood if you're Barack Obama. And
If you're using that card,
you use that card.
Yeah.
The only reason you got elected was because of your race. You spent your entire 8 years inflaming race hate in our country, and then you go to Martha's Vineyard, the whitest zip code in the world. Not allowed. You're not allowed to do that.
Megyn sliced into Michelle's school lunch initiative like a chef with zero patience. Remember the plan to feed kids like monks in some quinoa cult? Students revolted not because they hated broccoli, but because they were force-fed tasteless sadness, while Michelle probably snacked on steak sliders behind the scenes. It wasn't a wellness push, it was a nationwide flavor lockdown disguised as virtue.
Oh, good. She's still just as bitter as ever. There's such a great new spin of complaints here. Here's one from her most recent episode, which still on YouTube, she's got like 200,000 subscribers. It's really amazing that now she's been doing this for how many episodes? She's been literally on every podcast of the left wing promoting it. And that's still all she's managed to get.
Then came the endless mom-in-chief branding. Megyn found the title hilarious, not in a loving way, because only Michelle could turn basic motherhood into a photo shoot with ambient lighting. Suddenly, parenting needed press briefings and a publicist. Meanwhile, Tucker dove deep into her parallel universe, where victimhood wears a silk robe and every inconvenience becomes a societal failure. Michelle wrote enough dramatic monologues to fill a box set. Minor airport delay. Chapter 2, Frizzy Hair, Volume 3.
Her own statements about how awful marriage and motherhood are. It's like, we don't have to make it up. You led us right to that water, Michelle.
And it's amazing too, because like Obama, you watch his body language in this thing, and it's like his arms are crossed, his legs are crossed, he's like torqued away towards the camera or towards brother Craig. He seems as fearful of her, and it just is like diffuse, deflect, diffuse, as brother Craig does.
Somehow we started believing that speaking slowly and smiling makes you a philosopher. Michelle could read a shampoo label and get thunderous applause. Megyn nailed the act, the fox humble smile while subtly broadcasting that she's above us all. It's a magician's trick, appearing graceful while name-dropping Beyonce and pocketing 7 figures to talk about her truth, which sounds less like a memoir and more like corporate branding. Tucker nearly choked laughing at her shocked face during campaign speeches. The White House wasn't home, it was the pilot episode of the Michelle Obama extended universe.
I thought, look at this guy in this dark, dank, smelly, dirty place with lots of danger. Not just this cherry picker, but also the live rail that he's working on, all the wires, having a great time. And then you look at her, and she's still, they have to be billionaires by now.
Sure.
Out on the yachts, the Martha's Vineyard, $22 million estate, totally thriving young daughters who went to Harvard and USC. It's never going to be good enough. It's a mind frame, right? It's like your choice of how you're going to go through this life.
Tucker claimed Netflix didn't buy content, they bought mythology. And Michelle delivered episodes dressed in curated vulnerability and strategic emotion. It's smart person reality TV. With a self-help filter, Megyn targeted the wardrobe worship. Media treated her outfits like revolutions. Sleeveless, iconic, patterned dress, historic. It wasn't fashion coverage, it was a nationwide hallucination. Michelle could wear a trash bag and be hailed as redefining waste management. And as for running for office, she'd only do it if the cameras are rolling and the checks are fat. That campaign would be the Olympics of self-love.
Why would Barack Obama, and I'm sorry to be cynical, but I spent all 8 years of his presidency in the United States watching carefully. Why would he tweet out like it's a great thing that it's going to take days to find out who the new president is? Election workers are heroes. Respect them. Thank them. Don't share things before checking your sources. I'm trying not to use the F word on YouTube, but how dare you, Barack Obama? You liar! Lecture me about accuracy, and then let the process run its course. It takes time to count every ballot. Well, not India does it.
Oh, this came out today.
Megyn dug into the role model image and found layers of paid production. Nothing screams authenticity like a team of stylists, editors, and image consultants. Michelle isn't speaking from the heart, she's playing a well-rehearsed role. Tucker explained her speeches like psychological stagecraft, dramatic pauses, heartfelt sighs, and catchphrases built for applause. Behind every emotional moment, a product drop or a brand boost. Megyn compared her speeches to TED Talks ghostwritten by interns binge-watching Pinterest affirmations, pretty to hear, but utterly empty.
Michelle, she should change her name to Misery Obama. That's really what I think of when Misery Obama never has a positive word to say. Never. Not about children, not about family, certainly not about her husband. By the way, before we leave this topic, here's her latest soundbite that made the rounds. This happened on June 18th, but I was off. Here it is, 39.
You should have threw a boy in the mix.
I'm so glad I didn't have a boy. Because he would have been a Barack Obama.
It's like baby Barack. It would have been amazing.
Ooh, no, I would have felt for him.
She just borrowed our boys.
Yes, I got plenty.
Wow.
Did you catch that? She's glad she didn't have a boy because he would have been a Barack Obama. And that's a hard pass for her. This woman can't stand him. She can't.
Wait a minute. Now I like her. She prevented another Barack in the world. The Iranian regime quakes. We could have had another shot.
No, wait. Speaking of Barack Obama, he decided to drop a post on X today, and I thought, okay, maybe in the wake of the Pete Hegseth.
Tucker dragged Michelle's journey monologue through the mud. From Chicago to Harvard to multi-million-dollar deals, all sold as if she climbed Everest in heels. America's working class sobs into ramen while she talks about stress over book tours. Her struggle stories play like fairy tales, but the moral is always, buy the book, stream the show, and worship the myth. Michelle talks about America like it's a broken experiment she graciously tolerates, Megyn clocked. The eye-rolling tone, the constant you don't get it vibe, as if she's the cure to problems she refuses to name. Half influencer, half preacher, fully commercial.
Just say it. I'm not surprised at all. I watched what happened in Rhodesia when it became Zimbabwe in 1980, and something identical happened. There was a lot of killing, and they drove it, to the bottom rank of nations, the poorest country in the world. And following exactly the same script, I always thought that would happen in South Africa. I wanted to be wrong. Turns out it wasn't. What really bothers me is that the West has allowed this and cheered it on, because I live in the West. I live in the United States, so I don't want to think that my leaders are for killing people on the basis of race, but watching how they've stood by and applauded, Barack Obama's applauded all this stuff. Yep. It tells you everything about Barack Obama.
Megyn took aim at the Michelle fan club, where even mild criticism is heresy. Dislike her lunch plan, you're anti-child, question her brand, misogynist, don't buy her worldview? Then you must be uneducated. It's APR fortress defended with victim points and media worship. Tucker rapped with a masterclass in mockery. Michelle sells moral superiority while riding the gravy train of celebrity culture. She's not guiding the nation, she's monetizing it. Megyn closed strong. Michelle's not your queen, your prophet, or your conscience. She's a box set and America bought every season.
With Brother Craig, and the following took place. Here's how it started in SOP 36.
Barack Obama, can you join us on
Come
our
on
set?
out here, brother.
Welcome to IMO. Look at you, Katie.
Wait, you guys like each other?
Oh yeah, really? Huh?
That's so
The
nice.
rumor mill. It's my husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room
I
together.
I know, because when we
But the roast isn't over, because Michelle never stops stepping into the spotlight with a new spin. She's not done with the cash flow or the virtue signaling, and Megyn and Tucker, they're just getting started. When someone builds their empire on being untouchable, it's hammer time as applause fades and the lights go down. Michelle's already scripting her next tour, because when truth becomes a product, there's always another customer, and that roast, it's always ready to reheat. Michelle is a Gucci-wrapped Hallmark card sentimental gloss hiding a machine of ambition.
Listen to this. Okay, I'll let you pick up your point in the back end of this, but listen to her talking about her 8 years in the White House. SOT 27.
So I'm at this stage in life where I have to define my life on my terms for the first time. So what are those terms? And going to therapy just to work all that out. Like, what happened that 8 years that we were in the White House? What did that do to me?
Yes.
Internally, my soul, we made it through. We got out alive. I hope we made the country proud. My girls, thank God, are whole. But what happened to me?
Oh my God. The utter privilege and how out of touch this person.
Megyn mocked the irony of Michelle preaching against privilege, while soaking in it like a scented bubble bath. Every tale of hardship ends with applause in VIP-only rooms. Tucker landed the final blow with a grin. Michelle isn't a movement. She's a franchise, a finely tuned, globally licensed, charm-powered profit engine. While she floats above on carefully polished hype, Megyn and Tucker tear off the mask. What's underneath isn't inspiration, it's influence for sale. Behind the glitz, the monologues, the slow claps. Michelle Obama isn't changing the world, she's cashing in on it, and the receipts could wrap the Capitol twice.